Hello, my name is Jenna from JHK Yoga. I wanted to provide a class for you that is quick, beginner friendly, and a great way to start your day or to end your day. This is the flow that I do every morning when I wake up before I go to work. I take the 10 to 15 minutes to just move my body a little bit, get a little bit of movement going. So I thought that I'd share it with you all because one of the biggest things that I hear from people when talking about yoga or fitness in general is that they don't have time for it. But it doesn't always have to be a long process. It can be something quick and to the point. Ultimately, any movement in your body is going to be great and you'll reap the benefits from it. So this short practice will be a great way for you to begin learning about yoga if you're new, or just to make sure that you make time for it every single day. So you don't need any props for this practice except a yoga mat. We're going to start out in child's pose. So the knees are going to be wide, almost as wide as the mat, toes touching. Sit the hips back and begin to walk the hands forward. Ideally, the forehead rests on the mat. If that's not in your flexibility, you can place a block, a book, a blanket, a pillow, something underneath your forehead to bring the ground a little bit closer to you. So we'll be here in child's pose for a couple breaths. And I always use my time in child's pose to just connect with my breath, especially when I'm doing it first thing in the morning. Let's take one more big deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. From child's pose, bring the knees together, walk the hands up. I like to sit on my shins for this stretch, but if that's not comfortable for you, you could come to Sukhasana, easy seat, whatever works. Just some side stretches here to warm up the spine, so inhale the arms up. Exhale, lean over to the right, left arm reaches overhead. Inhale back to center, exhale to the left. Nothing special here, nothing crazy, just a little warming up of the spine. Inhale back to center, exhale, hands to thighs. Beautiful. We're going to move into tabletop. So hands are going to be placed directly underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Toes can be tucked under or flat on the mat, whatever is more comfortable for you. We'll do a couple cycles of cat-cow here. So on an inhale, drop the belly, tailbone lifts, chest shines forward as your gaze lifts for cow pose. And on your exhale, opposite motion, tuck the tailbone around the spine, press through the hands as the chin tucks, for cat pose. So a couple cycles of this at your own breath, inhaling for cow, exhaling for cat. A few more. And sometimes I like to bring a little more movement to my spine, maybe making some circles. You can circle your hips, stretch out the wrists a little bit. Really here, just doing whatever movement feels good in your body. And on your next inhale, begin to come back to a neutral tabletop position. We're going to step the right foot back behind us. followed by the left foot, meeting in a plank pose. Take a nice big deep breath in here. Exhale, drop the knees, bend in the arms, allow the body to come all the way down to the mat. Toes untuck. Couple rounds of baby cobra here, Bhujangasana. So hands stay just about underneath the shoulders, a little lower, about the lower ribs. Tops of the feet are pressing into the mat. Hips are pressing into the mat, okay? Inhale, elbows stay tucked in, lift the chin, lift the shoulders, just a slight back bend here. Not too much pressure in the hands, almost as if I could lift my hands off. So I'm really pressing down through the legs and the hips, engaging in the lower body here. Exhale, release. Couple more of these. Inhale. Breathe while you're here. Exhale, release. One more. Inhale. Exhale, release. Beautiful. From here, tuck the toes under. Lift the hips back through a tabletop position. This time, keeping the toes tucked, lifting the hips all the way up to find downward facing dog. So in downward dog, you want your hands to be spread wide. Okay, all 10 fingers engaged, pushing into the mat here. Chest aims to kind of almost reach back toward the thighs. So pressing through the hands, reaching the chest back, gaze is back, almost toward your navel. Navel is engaged, reaching toward the back body, toward the spine. Tailbone is lifted. Knees are slightly bent here, but heels are still working toward the mat. So they don't have to be flat on the mat, but they're working toward that direction. And I'll pedal out my legs here, bending one, straightening one. Really bringing movement here into the back of the legs. Beautiful. And on an inhale, my gaze comes forward to meet my thumbs. And I'll just slowly begin to walk my feet toward the top of my mat to meet my wrists at about hip width distance apart. When I'm here, keeping a bend, generous bend in the knees, interlocking hands with the opposite elbow, allow the body to fall here. Ragdoll pose, letting gravity do the work. Opening up the back of the legs, but not too intense. This is a great morning stretch. Swaying back and forth if that feels good for you. Maybe you nod your head yes or no. And on your next inhale, allow the hands to release and slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, rise up to standing. Beautiful. So we'll do a couple cycles of sun salutations to finish off the warm-up. So starting at the top of your mat, standing in Tadasana. So feet are either toes together, heels slightly apart, or maybe they're hip width distance, whatever is comfortable for you. Okay, spine is long and erect, crown of the head reaches up, navel is pulled in, tailbone is nice and tucked, palms facing the front. This is Tadasana, mountain pose. Nice, strong start. This is also often referred to as a power pose. And Harvard did some research that noted that folks who stood in this confident power pose, sometimes with their hands on their hips, moved through the day more confidently. Some of them had higher rates of job interview approvals or getting accepted for jobs. Students often perform better on tests. So this is a great pose, powerful pose to boost your confidence each morning. On an inhale, the arms reach open, palms come to the top to kiss. Extended mountain pose, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bend in the knees, palms pass through center for a forward fold, Uttanasana. And bent knees are okay here in Uttanasana. The goal is to try and bring the abdomen, the core section of your body, toward your thighs here. On an inhale, hands come up to find the shins or maybe the thighs for a halfway lift. Notice the Tadasana spine here, nice and long. The crown of the head follows the length of the spine. Exhale, fold again. Inhale, arms reach up. Palms kiss once more. Exhale, hands to heart center. So that's a half sun salutation. So we'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Once more, at your own pace with your own breath. Beautiful. We'll move into full sun salutation A, Surya Namaskar A. So the beginning part's going to be the same, and then I'll walk you through the rest. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. This time, plant the hands on the mat. You may need to bend in the knees to get there, and that's totally fine. Step the right foot back. Step the left foot back. Inhale. Exhale, drop the knees. Bend in the arms all the way down to the mat. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, release. Tuck the toes, move through tabletop, back into downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze comes between the hands. Exhale, step to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. So that version with the knees down, all the way down to the mat, baby cobra, is a modified Surya Namaskar. And that's the perfect way to start your day, especially when you're still warming up your body. This second round, I will model and cue a more advanced version of this morning Surya Namaskar. So feel free to stay with the first one, or you can try this harder challenge of the vinyasa. So inhale, arms come back up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands on the mat. Step the right foot back. Step the left foot back. Inhale. Exhale, bending in the arms, going down only halfway this time. Elbows are tucked. Inhale, toes tuck under for upward facing dog. So tops of the feet and the hands are the only thing touching the mat here. Exhale, lift through the hips, tuck the toes under for downward facing dog. Beautiful. And whichever way you decided to move through that time, great job. Inhale, gaze comes to the top of the mat. Exhale, step your way to meet your hands. Fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep up to the top once more. Exhale, hands to heart center. Again, inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands on the mat. Step the right foot back, then the left. And move through whichever variation works for you. Maybe dropping the knees, maybe moving through Chaturanga without dropping the knees, into baby cobra or upward dog, and tucking the toes, meeting in downward facing dog. In big deep breath in here. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale the right leg high behind you, keeping the hips square and the leg engaged. Exhale, draw the knee toward your nose, step the foot between the hands, drop the back knee behind you, untuck the toe, inhale, arms rise, low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Breathe here with each inhale, lengthening through the spine, and exhale, sinking maybe a little bit deeper in the hips. On your next inhale, hands come down back to the mat. Exhale, begin to tilt the hips back, lengthening through the front foot, flexing in the front toe, finding a half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. So your hands may be way up here, and that's totally fine. You can grab blocks or books or something to bring the ground closer to you. Ideally, the hands should be underneath the shoulders. Foot is flexed, leg is engaged, back hip is over the knee. So not reaching back too far. We want to try and keep the hips squared here. Just getting a nice stretch in the back of the leg here. And make sure you're breathing. With each exhale, maybe allowing the torso to draw a little closer to the thigh. On your next inhale, slowly walk the hands forward, allowing the front knee to bend once more. We're going to plant the left hand down next to the inside of the right foot. And on an exhale, draw the right arm up for just a slight twist. Option to tuck the back toes and lift for a deeper twist. Whatever feels good in your body. Just breathe here. Inhale, right arm comes back down next to the front foot. Tuck the back toes under. Step the right foot back to meet the left in plank pose. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Same thing on the other side now. So inhaling the left leg high, hips stay squared, leg is engaged. Exhale, draw the knee toward the nose. Step the foot between the hands. Allow the back knee to drop, toes to untuck, arms rise, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Breathing here, opening up through the hips and the legs. Inhale, hands come back down to the mat. Exhale, hips sink back over the knee. Front leg lengthens and flexes. Walk the hands back slightly so they're underneath the shoulders, maybe on top of blocks or books. And make sure that your hips are squared, nice 90-degree angle on the back knee here. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Nose reaches toward the toes. Exhale, sink a little deeper. On an inhale, allow the hands to slowly walk forward, bending in the front knee once more. And this time planting the right foot inside of the right hand inside of the left foot, reaching the left arm up and opening the heart for a twist. Again, option to tuck the back toes and lift up for a deeper twist, whatever's serving your body. On an inhale, the left hand comes back down to the mat. Tuck the back toes under, step the left foot back to meet the right. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. From here, drop the knees down, tabletop position. And this is normally where I'll transition from my movement practice into either a guided meditation or a self-guided meditation to close off my morning before I get ready, eat breakfast, head to work. If you have more time, feel free to repeat that sequence a couple of times over. Those movements will prepare you to advance your practice in yoga if you are a beginner, or just continue to warm up the body and build some heat as you prepare to move on throughout your day. I hope that this was helpful for you, and I hope that you can use this video on more than one occasion to help you either warm up in the morning or wind down before heading to bed. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions, concerns, or suggestions for future videos. I'd love to hear them. Follow me on my social media accounts at JHKYoga, both on Instagram and on Facebook. And I look forward to doing more yoga with you in the future. Namaste.